उसके बाद नहीं, उसके बाद
For in-stream data,
For
data
data lines and
document.
Importing data.
For importing text files and in-stream data.
importing in-stream data and text files.
मैं देख नहीं रहा था क्या
When we have in-stream data or text file data, we read in-file statement. And I told you,
उसको देखा ऐसे हमें
in the in-file statement, when we have in-stream data, we read the data lines or cards. When we have text file data, we specify the path of the text file. So that means in-file statement identifies or locates the data. And I told you, it depends on our requirement. In the in-file statement, we write in-file statement options like DSD, DLM is equal to DLM STR, DLM SOPT. When we write the DSD option,
क्योंकि सिंपल सी बात है
Comma as a delimiter.
फोन कट मत
when we have a comma as a delimiter. And also, DSD can remove the singular double quotations on the character string. And the third one is it can treat two consecutive special characters as a missing value. And then we have seen the DLM. When we have any special character as a delimiter, including comma, we can use the DLM is equal to. But the difference between DLM and DSD is DSD can treat only comma as a delimiter, but the DLM any special character. And the second one is DSD can remove the quotations, but DLM cannot remove the quotations. DSD can treat two consecutive special characters as a missing value, but DLM cannot do that. And then when we have an alphabet, we can use the DLM, but when we have a string, we can use either a DLM or a DLM STR. The difference between DLM and DLM STR is DLM will treat, even though it is a string, it will treat individual characters, but DLM STR will treat string as a delimiter. But when we can use the DLM STR when we have a same string every time. Okay. But when we have a same string, but different cases, what we will do, along with the DLM STR, we should also write DLMS OPT is equal to ignore the case. Clear, everybody?
Sir, if for example, delimiter has that capital ABC and capital XYZ and small ABC and small XYZ. In that case, we should use only DLML, right? DLM, right?
We should use only DLM. We should write everything.
Okay, okay.
तो मन ने तो दिखाना बोला, आपने नहीं दिखाना बोले, नहीं बोले, वो नहीं बोलना था ना, फोन कट करके भाग गए, फिर दोबारा कॉल किया, तो क्या कर रहे थे आप? मेरे ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहे, ये कर रहे वो कर रहे, मुझे दिखना रहा है, क्या ध्यान नहीं दिया मैं तेरे? मेरी तरफ देख रहा हूँ.
This is my data. I want to create a data set. Now I'm writing data set name DS1, in file, data lines, because we have in-stream data. I'm writing input. In the input statement, I'm writing ID, name $symbol, age, sex $symbol, then I'm writing the salary. So data lines. Can you tell me what is that option I should write in the in-file statement?
DLM equal to asterisk symbol.
You should write a DLM is equal to within the quotation, so you have to specify that asterisk symbol. Now I'm selecting the program, executing the program. Yes, we have a DS1 data set. Now open the DS1. Now this is the data that we have. Okay. By the way, how many observations you will get if I execute this program? How many observations I'm getting? 5 observations, because we have we have 5 records, so we get the 5 observations.
And sir,
each record, yes.
With that asterisk also there is hashtag and some symbols also.
Okay.
I was trying this some example yesterday, but it was not running. That with that DLM and ignorance I.
No, you don't require I. We require only I when we have a string, and that too when we have a different cases, same string, different cases. I told you when we have only special characters. If you have multiple special characters, you need to list out everything.
Okay, then afterwards I tried that with asterisk, hashtag, colon
We
and
discussed,
everything.
we have seen that example. Let's say, for example, see, I have @ symbol, I have # symbol, and I have say, for example, what do you call asterisk symbol. I can use again, say, for example, I think I can a percentage symbol. We have multiple things. What I should do now?
But sir, it was not running.
You'll get it.
We have to mention also.
What we should mention, we have to mention @ symbol, we have to mention # symbol, and we have to mention percentage symbol. Now select the program, execute it. You'll get the data.
Okay, I will try them.
You don't require DLM-STR, DLMS OPT.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, so how many observations I'm getting now? I'm getting 5 observations, right? Now, I want to read only from here. I want to have a 3rd, 4th, and a 5th observation. So if you want to read only from the 3rd observation onwards, now in the infile statement, since we have a different special characters, I'm writing DLM is equal to all the special characters, and after that, I'm writing a new option called first OBS is equal to. Okay, first OBS is equal to, I'm specifying 3. What is first OBS will do? First OBS will specify a number from where now the SAS will start processing from that number of observation. Since I specify first OBS is equal to 3, now it will start processing from the 3rd observation. From the 3rd observation, now we will get the remaining observations. So that means, tell me how many observations I'm going to get now. From the 3rd means I'll get 3rd one, 4th one, and 5th one. I will get 3 observations.
Yeah, 3 observations.
By default, if you're not writing anything, by default, what you are going to have? By default, we are going to have first OBS is equal to 1. So that's why every time it will start reading from the first observation, you'll get all the remaining observations. Now, this is how we have. So now tell me what is going to happen if I specify first OBS is equal to 4. It will start reading from the 4th observation. So you'll get the remaining observation. That means I'll get 4th observation and
5th observation.
Now I'm going to have only 2 observations.
By default, 1 వస్తే 1 నుంచి ఉన్న observations ని తీసుకుంటాం.
By default, if you are not anything, by default we are going to have 1. That's why every time it will start reading from the first observation.
Okay.
So see, I mentioned the first OBS is equal to 1. So then you are going to get from first observation, you will get all the 5. Okay?
Sir, if we want to have 2nd and 4th.
We'll see that one. Clear, everyone? So what is the option that we are discussing now? First OBS is equal to n. What this will do? It specifies an observation number. An observation number from where we start the processing. Start the process. Understand this one? Now, the next option that we are going to have is OBS is equal to. OBS is equal to, by default, we are going to have a max. That means by default in the infile statement, we are going to have an OBS is equal to max. So that means every time it will read all that observations. So how many observations I'll get now if I execute this program? We are getting 5 observations. Right. Why we are getting 5 observations? Because in this program, we have 5 observations. Now, if I specify now OBS is equal to 3, you know what it will do? It will specify a number where we want to stop the processing. So now where it will get stopped now, it will stop at 3rd observation. So by default, it will reading from the first observation. Now it will stop at the 3rd observation. That means how many observations I'll get now? I will get 3 observations. Okay, now you'll get first one, second one, and then the 3rd one. So by default, OBS is equal to, by default, what we are going to have? Max. That's why every time we'll get all the observations of the program. That means by default, we are going to have first OBS is equal to 1 and OBS is equal to max. That's why every time we'll get all the observations. Now I am writing first O base is equal to 1 and the O base is equal to 4. Tell me what will happen now?
We are getting 4 only.
1 to 4 observations.
1 to 4.
You'll get from 1 to 4. Now I'm changing that into first O base is equal to 2, O base is equal to 4. Now what will happen now? It will start reading from the second observation and it will stop at the fourth observation. So you'll get the second one, third one, and then the fourth one. So if I specify, say for example, first O base is equal to 3, O base is equal to 4, tell me what will happen now? You'll get to third to fourth. That means you'll get two observations.
Third and fourth.
Now, I want to have only fourth observation. Then what should I do? If you want to have only fourth observation, is not visible. Is that the problem for everybody?
No, sir.
Now I will specify in the first O base is equal to 4, O base is equal to 4. Now tell me what will happen now? It will start processing at the fourth observation and it will stop at the fourth observation. So that means we'll get only the fourth observation. Understand this one? Now in the interview they're going to ask you a question. I have 20 observations. I want to have 7th observation to 14th observation. Tell me the program how you will write it. Now you can say that in the infile statement, I can specify first O base is equal to 7, O base is equal to 14. If they ask you, I want to have only 9th observation, then what you will do?
First O base
is equal to 9, O base is equal to 9. But if they ask you, I want to have a 4th observation, I want to have a 13th observation, or I want to have a 17th. So that means if they ask you a random number of random observations, it is not possible by first O base and O base. So for example, if I mention the first O base is equal to 2, okay? If I mention O base is equal to 2, that means which observation I will get? Second observation. Now I want to have 4 observations also. Now if I specify first O base is equal to 4, O base is equal to 4, you will not get the second one and fourth one. If you had the same statement, same option 2 times, so every time the recent one will override the previous one. So that means ultimately what observation I will get here?
Fourth observation.
I will get only fourth observation. In SAS, if you're writing the same statement or same function 2 times, same option 2 times, always the latest one will override the previous one. Understand this one? So now you'll get only the fourth observation. So by using this method, you cannot get the random observations. You can get a block of observations or any one observation. If you want to have a random observations in future, we are going to have other methods to get it. We are going to have other methods to get it. Understand this one? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So if they ask for random observation, then what?
We should use other methods.
Sir,
Can you please?
Is this possible for imported data also, sir? Import data also?
That in that scenario, we'll see in future in the set statement. We can use the same options in the set statement also. Okay.
DLM delimiters kuda different ga untaya sir daniki import.
No. When we require infile state, when we require the delimiters, when we have only infile statement, you do not require infile statement in other scenarios, no?
Yes, sir.
Means these are infile options only, no, sir? Or first
Yes,
OBS.
we are discussing infile statement options. Clear, everybody?
Sir, we use different concept for this multiple number of like 4, 13 and 17 like this.
If you want to have random, in future we are going to use other methods.
Okay.
Okay, we'll discuss that time.
That these options are called as infile options, sir.
Since these we are using in the infile statement, these are called infile statement options. Okay.
All infile options are now written without parenthesis, right, sir?
Yes, only in the data statement only we use parenthesis. Here we do not require the parenthesis.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now this is my data. I want to create a data set. Okay, now I'm writing data set name demo, in file data length because we have in stream data. I'm writing input. I want to have ID, name, dollar symbol, and salary. Now, do you require any infile statement options, DSG or DLM? Do you require any infile statement options? No.
Yes, sir.
Is it?
No, sir.
We don't require. We don't require because we have just a space.
By default, space.
So we have space only. Tell me if I execute this program, how many variables and how many observations I'm going to get?
Three
Three
variables.
variables,
And
5
Three
observations.
variables, 5
Three
observations.
variables and 5 observations. And I told you, in the backend, we are going to have input pointer. It will start reading from here. I told you, what is the rule that we have for?
Eight
So it
characters.
will execute the
Space.
space. Whichever comes first, it will stop there, isn't it? Now, 1, 2, 3 space. Now 101 will go to which variable?
First.
ID.
ID. Now after the space, X will go to which variable?
Name.
Name variable. And after the space 1, 2, 3, 4. 3400 will go to which variable?
Salary.
Salary variable. In the input statement, we have 3 variables. In the input record, we have 3 values. Now these 3 values will become, this record will become 1 observation. So the second one is going to become this one observation, third observation, fourth observation, fifth observation. That means if I execute the program, I'm going to have 5 observations because we have 5 records. In each record, we have 3 values. Each value will go to one variable. So you'll get 5 observations. Now, see, if I execute the program, yes, we have a demo and we have 5 observations. Now, this is the situation. I'm taking the same data again, but this is how we have the data. Now I want to create data set. I'm writing data demo1 in file. Since we have in stream data, I'm writing the data lines, semicolon. I'm writing input. I want to have ID, name, dollar symbol, and then salary. Data lines. And finally, I'm writing a semicolon. I'm writing the run statement. Now tell me what is going to happen. It is going to start reading from here. Now, 101 space 101 will go to which variable?
ID.
No. After the space, we have X space. Now X will go to which variable?
Name.
Name variable. And then what is the next variable that we have?
Salary.
Salary. But do we have a salary value here?
No.
No. Now what it will do? Automatically, it will jump into the next line to get the value for the next variable. So it will jump into the next line. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 space. Now 3400 will go to which variable now? Salary. So that means in the input statement, I have 3 variables, but in the first line, I have only 2 values. Only 2 values. Since we do not have value for salary, automatically it will jump into the next line to get the value. It is a default. You no need to tell it. Now that means these 2 records will become 1 observation. And now these 2 records will become 1 observation. See, if I select the program, execute the program, now also I'm going to have 5 observations. So Now 101 is going for ID, X is going for name. Since we do not have a salary value here, automatically what it will do?
Next.
It will jump into the next line. You know why it is jumping? Because by default, in the infile statement, since we have in-stream data, we are going to have a data lines. Then we are going to have an option called flowover. It is a default option. If I write it or not, by default, we are going to have a flowover. When we have a flowover, what it will do? Automatically, whenever input statement is unable to find a value for its variable, now the infile statement causes to jump into the next line to get the value. Understand why this is? Because by default in the infile statement, what is the option we are going to have? Flowover option. Now how we can define the flowover option? It is a default. Okay, what it will do? It causes
Finds observation.
input statement to jump into next record whenever it is unable to find a value, for its variable. Understand this one? Unable to find a value for a variable. It is a default one. Clear, everybody?
Sir, if we have more variables in the input statement, like for example, 5 variables.
We'll see that one. Okay, we'll see that in a minute. First, now I am writing the same program like this one. Now tell me what is going to happen. I have ID number in one line, name in one line, salary in one line. So am I going to get the data or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now say 101 will go to ID number, ID. But do we have next variable name? Do we have a value for name here?
Yes.
No. What it will do now?
Then
it will jump into the next line. In the next line, we have an X value. X value go to which variable now?
Name.
Name variable. And then we have a salary. So do we have a salary value here?
No.
No. It will jump into the next line. And 3400 will go to the salary. So that means these three lines will become one observation. Now see, if I want to create a demo to data set, if even though you are not writing, by default, what is the option we are going to have? Flowover. So select the program, execute the program. Now can you say I'm going to have a demo too? Can you see? We have the data. Clear this one? Somebody asked me, what if you have a more variables? Say for example, I have, a variable called address. I want to have it as a character variable. And I have in a city also. And I want to have it a character variable. You only tell me what is going to happen now. 101 will go to ID. X will go
to name.
3400 will go to
Salary.
102 will go to
Address.
X will go to city. Now these 5 records, these 5 lines will become, what it will become? It will become one record, one observation.
Yes.
Understand this one? For the time being, I want to take only 3 variables. Now, before that, do you want to execute the program? If I execute the program, this is the situation in the demo 2. Okay. Now, for the time being, I'm taking only 3 variables. Now, I will get 5 observations, not a problem at all. Because by default, we are going to have infile statement. When we have an infile statement, it will jump into the next line. Whenever it is unable to find a value, so multiple records will become one observation. Clear, everybody?
Yes.
Now, this is the situation. I want to create a data set. Now I'm writing data, demo 3. In file, since we have in-stream data, I am writing data lines. Then I'm writing the input. I want to have ID, name, $symbol, then salary. I am writing now data lines.
नहीं करना करके
Okay,
बोल सकते हो।
and writing
बोलने से
one
पहले
statement.
वही से पीछे
Now tell me what is going to happen.
उसके बाद बोला क्या मैं
101 will go to which variable?
ID.
ID. X will go to name. 3400 will go to
Salary.
so not a problem. This first one record will become one observation. So we have three variables, we have three values. These three values will become one observation, right? Now come into the second line. Now 102 will go to which variable? ID. Now X will go to which variable?
Name.
Now do we have a salary value here?
No, sir.
No. Then what it will do now?
It will jump into the next line and
Because
it will
I
take
told you,
three as a salary.
by default we are going to have a floor option. Because floor option, now it will jump into the next line. Now 103 will become now
Salary.
since 103 has become salary. Now do we have any variables after the salary?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Now the remaining line, the remaining part will be get ignored. Okay, that means 102 ID X name 103 will become
Salary.
salary. And the remaining part will be ignored. Okay, now it will start freshly in the next line. 104 will become ID. Y will become now
Name.
name. We have a salary value here.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Based on the flowover, because we have a flowover, it will jump into the next line. So 105 will become salary. And X and 3000 will be ignored. Because we do not have any variables further. So the remaining part will be ignored. So I should get 5 observations, but unfortunately, I'm getting the data like this one. Okay, you see 102 X salary. Can you see what is the salary that we have? 103. And again 104. Why 105 has become salary? That means data is not coming properly. Unfortunately, in the second observation, I didn't get the salary value. If you didn't have the salary value, you should have a missing value, isn't it? And the 103 should go again to ID. It should not take into salary value. But why this is happening? Because by default, what is the option that we have?
Flowover.
When this option is on, what is happening? Whenever there is no value for any variable, what it will do automatically? It will jump into the next line. Because it is jumping into the next line, some other value is coming into another variable. Now, what should I do now? I should stop this action. I should stop the flowover action. Now, to stop the flowover action, now we are going to use an option called missover. What this missover will do? Missover will stop the flowover action. Of what is the flowover action? Of jumping into the next line to get the value whenever it is unable to find a value. So now 102 will go to ID, X will go to name. So since we do not have a salary value, but since we have a missover, it will stop the flowover action of jumping into the next line. So now in the second observation, salary will take missing value as missing value. And now 103 freshly will go to ID, Y will go to name, 3400 will go to salary only. Now, if I use a missover, can you say how many observations I'm going to get now? I will get 5 observations in the second and fifth observation. Sorry, yeah. In the second and fourth observations, salary missing value as missing value I'm getting it. Understand this one? So if you want to stop the flowover action, what is the option you should use? You should use missover option. So missover will stop the flowover action of jumping into next line to get the value whenever it is unable to find a value. Understand this one?
Sir, once repeat what is missover?
Missover will stop the action of the missover will stop the action of flowover action of jumping into the next line. If I'm not writing the missover, tell me what will happen. 102 will go to ID, X will go to name, and since we do not have a salary, what it will do?
It will jump to the next
It will jump into the next line. So 103 will go to salary. I do not want to do that because if you do not have a salary value, take it as a missing. To stop that flowover action, now I will write the missover. So missover will stop the flowover action.
एक सेकंड पहले बोली कि
Clear this all?
एक सेकंड पहले
But missover will stop the flowover action only when we have missing value at the end of the record. At the end of the record. Say for example, now this is my data. Now this is my data. Okay, I want to create a data set. Okay, I'm writing some, say for example, like this one. I want to create data set. Now I'm writing data. I want to have a data set name called weight club. In file, since we have in-stream data, in file I'm writing the data lines. Then I'm writing that input. Okay, I want to have ID, name, $symbol. Then I want to have a team, $symbol. Then I want to have a start weight and then end weight. Okay, then I'm writing the data lines. We do not have any problem here. In the input statement, I have 5 variables, and each and every line I have 5 values. Each value will go to one variable. So 1023 will go to ID, David will go to name, red will go to team, 189 will go to start weight, 165 will go to end weight. So in each and every record, we have 5 values. Each value will go to one variable, not a problem at all. Now, if I execute the program, I will get the data. I am going to have weight club, and I have 5 variables and 9 observations. But now this is the problem. I'm not getting, end weight value. By default, in the info statement, what we are going to have? Flowover. Now, what it will do, flowover? 1049 will go to ID, Amelia will go to name, Yellow will go to team, 145 will go to start weight. Do we have end weight value here?
No.
Now what it will do? It will jump to
1219
will go to end weight. Now, do we have any variables of the end weight?
No.
Now the remaining part will be ignored. So again, 1246 will go to ID, and Ravi will go to name, Yellow will go to team, and so on and so on. I should get 9 observations, but now see what is happening. I will not get the 9 observations. This is the problem that we have. Can you see how many observations I'm getting? 8 observations. Can you see what happened here? The next ID value will go to end weight. But if you want to stop this one, what I should do?
Missover.
I should write the missover. Now, missover will stop the flowover action. It will take missing value as a missing value only. It will not allow to jump into the next line. Now, select the program, execute the program. Now we are going to have weight club, and this is how it's going to be. Now, but I have value here. I have some value here, not a problem. But I have value missing for name. Okay. Now what is going to happen? Missover can't stop to read. So now 1049 will go to ID. Now what is the next value we have in the input statement?
Name.
Now it will start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yellow will go to which variable now? Name variable. Even though you have a missover, yellow will go to name, and 145 will go to team. 123 will go to start weight. Now missover will stop to jumping into the next line.
Yes, sir.
So that means only missover is useful only when we have a missing value in the last variable. So that means by this time, all the damage has been done, isn't it? Now see, if I execute the program, of course we'll get the weight club. Now can you see what we have in the name? Yellow. And the start weight will go to team, and end weight will go to start weight. But since we have a missover, it is stopping to jumping into the next line. So that means when is the missover is going to be useful? Only when we have missing value in the last variable. But what we should do if you have missing values in between, that we'll discuss during input statement. Okay?
Okay.
Clear, everybody? how the missover is going to work?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Sir,
Yes.
in one line.
Pardon?
Can't we write multiple observations in one line?
We can write, and we'll see that one also during the input statement. Okay.
Okay, sir.
సార్ సో missover యూజ్ చేసినప్పుడు వన్ డేటా లైన్ అదే డేటా లైన్స్ తర్వాత రాసే రికార్డ్ వన్ లైన్ ఆఫ్ రికార్డ్ ని ఒక అబ్జర్వేషన్ గా తీసుకుంటుంది.
It will not allow you to jump into the next line.
Yes.
When we have a missing value in the end of the record, so in the last variable, generally by default we are going to have flowover. It will jump into the next line, but missover will stop that action.
Okay.
Okay.
So what did you said? If that Emily is not there and yellow is there, then what to use?
When we have a yellow, when you do not have a name value, that means if you do not have values of any variable in between, if it is not the last of variable, missover will not work out. So when the missover is going to work, missover is only help you to stop jumping into the next line only. So that means 1049 will go to ID, but now do we have a name value here?
No.
No. So yellow will go to name. 145 will go to team. 123 will go to
start wait.
Now, do we have end wait value here?
No.
Now, since we have missover, it will not allow you to jump into the next line. It can help you only to that part.
Yes.
So that means you can use only missover when we have a missing value at the end of the record.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So in that case, so what to write over there after data?
So in future, I will tell you by using input statement methods, we can read the data.
Okay.
Okay. We'll discuss during the input statement, that concept. Okay.
Sir?
Yes.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు డేవిడ్ కి రెడ్ కి మధ్యలో స్పేస్ ఉంది. మనకి అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ రీడ్ చేసేది క్యారెక్టర్స్ 8 క్యారెక్టర్స్ ఆర్ స్పేస్ కదా సార్. ఇప్పుడు డేవిడ్ కి రెడ్ కి మధ్యలో స్పేస్ లేకపోతే అప్పుడు డేవిడ్ 8 క్యారెక్టర్స్ అనేది తీసుకుంటుంది నేమ్ లోకి. దాని తర్వాత టీమ్ లోకి ఆ స్పేస్ తర్వాత ఉన్న 189 వచ్చేస్తుంది కదా సార్.
Let's see. 103 will go to which variable?
ID,
right? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Say for example, ila kakunda, I have it, say for example, David, Willie, and Red. Okay? If say there is no space, then what is going to happen now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. DAVID, WIL will go to
name.
And the remaining part will be ignored.
Okay.
Now, do you have a team value here?
No.
Now, 189 will go to
Team.
165 will go to
Start wait.
Do you have end wait here?
No.
What it will do now?
Missing value.
If you didn't specify discover, it will jump in the next line. If you specify discover, it will stop there.
It is missing.
Okay.
Ignore that, sir.
Pardon?
Red, next red.
Because this entire thing is only one string, no? Only it will take 8 characters, the remaining part will be ignored.
Okay.
But if you have a space, red will go to automatically into team. So in that scenario, maximum 8 characters, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only this part will go to name. This will be get ignored. And after the space, red will go to again team. But she is saying that there is no space between the name and the team value. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Guys, 2 minutes, huh? 2 minutes.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay, guys. Now, I'm taking one more example. Now, this is my data. In this data, in the fourth observation, fourth record, for end weight, I have missing value. Now, I want to create a data set. Data, I'm creating a demo for. Since we have in-stream data in file, data lines, I'm writing input, ID, name $symbol, team $symbol, start weight, and end weight. Okay, then I'm writing the data lines. So tell me what I should do if you want to read the data successfully.
Missover.
But what is my requirement is, if I have a missing value anywhere, I do not want to create data set at all from that point. If I have a short line, if I have missing value, I do not want to have a data set from there onwards. I want to completely stop executing my program. If you want to do that, now what I'm going to do, I am going to use an option called stopover. What this stopover option will do, whenever it encounters a short line, so that means whenever it encounters a missing value, it will stop executing the program itself. So that means if I execute this program, what will happen now? I will get only 3 observations. Since we have a missing value, a short line in the 4th observation, it will stop executing the program itself there. Now see, if I select the program, execute the program, I am going to have demo 4. Now can you see how many observations I have?
3.
Only 3 observations. So it will stop executing the program whenever it encounters a short line, whenever it encounters a missing value. So completely will stop executing the program there itself. Yes.
So is it by default that if we write stopover, it will by default only it will not recognize the
no
from
by default by default you will not stop over. If you want to stop executing, now by default what we are going to have? By default we are going to have flowover. So since we have a flowover, since we do not have an end weight, then what it will do? It will go to the next line. Okay. Now my requirement is, if you have missing value, don't execute the program at all. I don't want to have the data. So now I am going to mention, I'm going to specify now stopover. We have to write it. Okay. Now if I execute the program, now the program will stop executing at the 3rd observation. So I'll get only 3 observations. Okay, it's your requirement. If you do not want to have any observations further, now we can stop executing the program by writing a stopover. Okay.
Only in the last variable or any variable, sir?
It is going to, if you have anywhere, say for example, I have missing value for name. Okay. But I have missing value for, I have a value for end weight also. Now tell me what is going to happen. 1, 2, 4, 6 will go to which variable? ID. Since we do not have any name value, yellow will go to which variable?
Name.
And then 194 will go to which variable?
Team.
231 will go to which variable?
Start weight.
Now, since we have a stopover, it will not jump into the next line. It will stop the program there.
So then we don't get the end weight, sir?
You won't get the 4th observation. You won't get the 4th observation. You'll get up to only 3rd observation.
Okay.
Okay. Clear, everybody?
So can you please execute it and show us?
Before that, I'm deleting the dataset again one more time. Now I'm selecting the program, executing the program. Now can you see we have demo 4? Now can you see how many observations I'm getting? Only 3 observations.
Okay.
Clear this one?
సార్ ఒక డౌట్.
Yes.
ఒకసారి ప్రోగ్రామ్ చూపిస్తారా సార్? అది కోడ్ చూపిస్తారా సార్? ఇప్పుడు 4th రోలో అది లేదు కదా సార్, మనకి ఎండ్ weight అని లేదు. సో ఓన్లీ 4th రో ఒకటి మిస్ చేసి మిగిలినవి రావచ్చా సార్? వచ్చే ఛాన్స్ ఉందా? అంటే మిగిలినవి
It will stop there itself. You won't get anything after that one.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, here we can also write first OBS is equals to 1 and OBS is equals to 3. No?
But we never check the data, Charan.
Okay, sir.
Okay, here you can see, just imagine I have 10,000 observations, the 10,000 records. I have missing value maybe at 947 or 1200 or somewhere. Am I going to check the data all the time?
No, sir.
No.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Clear, everyone?
So can we use a
Yes.
stop over in importing file also?
No, stop only for in-file statement option. It is in-file statement. Whenever you are writing in-file, there you can use. We cannot write proc import and other procedures.
Even it works for text format, text file.
Any
also.
file, text or instim. When we write in file, only for the instim data and
Only
text
for
file, right?
text
So
file.
whatever the options I'm using now, we can also use it for the text files.
సార్
Yes.
ఇన్స్ట్రీమ్ డేటాలో మనకి డేటా మొత్తం కనిపించేస్తుంది కదా, ఇప్పుడు థర్డ్ లైన్ వరకు మనకు వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి, దాని తర్వాత లేవు అని చెప్పి, అప్పుడు మనం ఇక్కడ ఫస్ట్ ఓబిఎస్ కానీ యూస్ చేయొచ్చు కదా సార్?
If you want, you can use. Anyway, then first OBS use shape and by default I'm getting 3 observations, right? What is the point of using first OBS and OBS? Anyway, I'll get 3 observations. Even if you are not writing also.
Okay, sir. So, if from 1023 to 172, like this raw data is there, and if suppose how to recognize that we should use the missover or stopover?
See, it's up to you. As a programmer or like as a responses requirement, if it doesn't want to have data from the missing value onwards, we will use stopover.
It will get specified, no?
Specification.
Okay.
Based on that, our requirement only we do. Okay?
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
ఇవాళ ఫస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒకటి చెప్పారు కదా సార్, ఫస్ట్ ఓబిఎస్ అని. అందులో ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ ఓబిఎస్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 2, ఓబిఎస్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 2 అయితే విల్ గెట్ ఓన్లీ సెకండ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్. సో ఒకవేళ సెకండ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్ లో డీలిమిటర్ ఒకటే ఉంటే we need to mention all the delimiters or only one delimiter?
That limiter would be enough. Okay? So for example, in the first observation, I have an @ symbol or and # symbol. From the second record onwards, I have only # symbol. So now we only need @ symbol because you want to have from the second observation itself. Right? So from the second record onwards, you do not have an # symbol. So you no need to mention the # symbol. Okay?
Okay.
Anybody?
Sir, stopover ki mundu manamu before the stopover, if we use OBS is equals to 10, I mean OBS is equals to 5. Tarvata stopover use చేసామంటే ఫస్ట్ OBS ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి మొత్తం అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ వస్తాయా, లేదంటే ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ stopover ఉంది కాబట్టి స్టాప్ అవుతుంది?
No, stopover is going to stop that program. That in that scenario, the first OBS and OBS will not get work.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, this stopover will only work when the last digit is missing, or in between if anything is missing, then
In
also
between.
it will be.
In between. Here it is not missing in the last one, right? What we have missing here?
No, in last one also it is missing. So that's why I'm asking.
No, we have a start wait and end wait.
Okay, sir.
సార్ ఒకసారి డెమో 4 డేటా సెట్ చూపిస్తారా?
Demo 4, yes. We have only 3 observations.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, then we'll continue in the next class. I think tomorrow and day after tomorrow you do not have SQL classes, right? And what if in future, if I continue the classes Saturday and Sunday, are you guys going to come for the classes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I take after our SQL, so if you completed your SQL, if I take the Saturdays and Sundays continuously 7 days, so no issues, right?
Sir, evening.
Sir, at what time, sir?
Sir,
Same
same timing, sir.
Okay, sir.
Same time.
No, sir.